As a young child, elementary school seemed normal or as expected. I drew houses and colored trees, adding apples for effect. I learned the alphabet, read Dick and Jane books, and played with friends at recess. In fourth grade, students were required to check out a book from the library and provide an oral report to the teacher detailing what we read. Not all the words or stories were familiar, and I learned it was easier to develop my reports by looking at the pictures in the books. Unfortunately, one day it didn't work. My teacher insisted I didn't read the book, which I disputed until she declared, "The book is written in Spanish." Her solution? Go back to the library, check out another book, and report back to her the next week. Despite her declaration, I had difficulty understanding why I was required to select another book, as most of the words in the first book looked the same as all the other books I previously checked out. After elementary school, everything changed. My grades began falling below average, and I had difficulty keeping up with lessons and other students in my class. In 7th grade, I was taken out of my classes and moved into a vocational program. I was humiliated and ashamed, and didn't understand why I had been moved out of my classes.
When Kathy went into the 7th grade, I get a call from the principal's office that they wanted to talk to me. So I go down there, go to the school, and right away he says, "We think she's going to have to be put in special classes." "What kind of special classes?" "Well, she's below grade level. We don't think that she's going to be able to probably be any more than maybe working how to work a cash register." Well, I was absolutely shocked when I heard this because I just did not believe what he was telling me. I argued with him. I don't remember exactly what was said, but we had a long discussion about it, and I just felt like they were trying to give up on her. Well, he eventually agreed that he would put her in these classes out on a trial basis. Well, within the first 6 weeks, I was notified that they were going to move her into regular classes because she was tested way above everybody else. And I was so thankful that they finally agreed to do it this way.
For the remainder of the year, I was in a special reading class and exited out of the class by reading a first grade level book. During the exit examination, I consistently replaced the word rod with robe while reading the book aloud to the examiner. The story didn't sound right or logical. However, it wasn't until I finished the story and looked at the cover, I realized the word I had been reading should have been rod instead of robe. I looked at the examiner and said, "Oh, it's a hot rod, not robe." She looked at me, made a change on her examination sheet, and stated, "You passed." Over the years, I learned to compensate by asking friends for help when I didn't understand something, or putting myself in situations where material was read aloud, aiding in my comprehension. In high school, I played in band, which helped build my self-confidence, until I realized I was unable to sight read sheet music. I had to hear the musical piece first and then play what I heard. By my senior year in high school, it was obvious something was wrong with how I learned, and my reading ability was limited. However, I seemed to be the only person who knew I needed help. Most teachers told my parents I was lazy, or I was a good student because I was quiet and didn't cause trouble in class. Teachers' expectations of me were limited and few and far between. After high school, I enrolled in Del Mar Community College and requested testing from the counseling department. A battery of tests help determine I am dyslexic and have below average reading comprehension. Due to frequently switching letters while reading and numbers and math calculations, it was obvious why I had difficulty understanding presented material. After several years of struggling in community colleges, I was accepted at Lock Haven University of Pennsylvania, where I earned a Bachelor's of Science degree in special education. I chose my degree in special education because I don't want a child to ever feel the way I did growing up. I was allowed to coast by in school. I was passed from grade level to the next grade level without expectation or even consideration. I felt unvalued, worthless, and misunderstood. Not one adult in my life ever had the expectation I would or could make a difference in the world or with the people around me. My exposure to educational programs and career possibilities were limited, and I was often told I wouldn't be able to accomplish the requirements, so why try? No child should ever feel this way. No child should ever be made to feel so insignificant in their life or for their future. As a special education teacher and a person who has worked with individuals who have disabilities for over 30 years, I have learned everyone has potential and everyone has the ability to complete a job or task. I have high expectations of my students, even those who have been identified with the lowest cognitive ability. I know every person in the world has the ability to learn and achieve, and I am not willing to give up on them or let them just coast by. Even the smallest achievements are celebrated with great exuberance. As a teacher, it's my responsibility to provide my students the tools, strategies, and techniques necessary for them to reach their potential. I am responsible for their learning and growth, and I design my classroom to assure every child feels valued, cared for, pushed to reach their goals, and guided to grow into fully functioning participants of society to the best of their ability. I have since earned my Master's of Education and am continuing to broaden my education by currently participating in a second master's program. I have often thought I would like to find the principal who told my mother I wouldn't amount to anything. Then I realized I really only needed to prove my potential to myself and be the kind of teacher for my students I dreamed of for myself as a child. I am thankful for a mother who taught me independence and determination for growth despite life's given obstacles.